let's talk about margaritas. Now, I have had a margarita or two in my life, and I have probably done and filled more Igloo coolers than everybody. Well, maybe everybody combined, most of you combined. What makes a great margarita? You know, I went to a restaurant the other day and I was so hesitant to order the margarita because most margaritas have been really treated poorly. I mean, margaritas are kind of like hamburgers. I mean, when they're good, they're really good. And when they're bad, well, we'll still eat them or drink them or whatever. And that's what happens to margaritas all the time. We're using that processed simple syrup, and we're using that pre-made margarita base that's got some pasteurized lime in it and so forth, and all the wrong way to go with this. So I want to break into making our famous caliente margarita. Sammy Hagar and I have a little company called Santo. We make a mezquila, we make a blanco, and we make a reposado. So let's go ahead and get into it. So everybody should have their cooler right here that they can pack. Nice that they sent this to you. So you got an orange, a lemon, and a lime. Let's go ahead and grab those out. You also should have some agave nectar, so some really nice natural sweetness. Now, here's one of the things about agave nectar. It has the sweetness of honey, but it doesn't have that reminiscent flavor of honey. So really something awesome to add. Simple syrup is great, don't get me wrong. You can make your own simple syrup, 50 parts water and sugar. But this is, if you're going to really keep it in the true tradition, a great way to go. Now, you could have an orange liqueur also that you could add into this. I don't think we could fit it in the cooler, so you're not going to miss it. A nice bottle of the Blanco Santo tequila made with 100% blue agave. I always recommend, and this is just coming from me as a chef, before we put ingredients into a dish, we always taste them. So now would be the tasting. This is science, folks, right here. That's definitely my tequila. Okay, so we've got the Santo Blanco. We've got a little bit of salt to rim the glass. I'm not a big, when people start enjoying shots of this beautiful tequila, they'll start putting lime and salt on the side of it. I don't think it's necessary there, but I do really think it's necessary in the margarita, because you got to think, you got salt, you got sweet, you got sour, you got a little bit of bitter, and you've got to balance that out. And salt's a great way to do that. A jalapeno, I know that sounds strange. There's a straw. Okay, first things first. Couple ice cubes, 1 or 2 ice cubes if you're following along with me. Maybe 3 if they're, or 4 if they're small. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and take the jalapeno and give that just a few slices. And what we're going to do is take those jalapeno slices and drop them in with the ice, okay? And we're gonna grab a few leaves of cilantro. Okay, not the stems, just the leaves, and the really pretty bright leaves that are smiling at you and want to be added in, not the ones that are looking dull and pale and kind of off color, okay? Drop that in. Now, with our muddler, whatever you have to do this muddler's got a little texture on the bottom of it. Cover with your hand and just muddle this a little bit. The great thing about this is the ice works along with the muddler to actually kind of like cut things up. So we're really trying to break this down and macerate this jalapeno with the cilantro, okay? Now, if you really want to do this right, you get the bigger Igloo cooler, the big monster one, the silver one that one day I'm going to get and spray paint Santo across the front of it. You get that, and then you pre-make all of this in a couple nice gallon jars, and then you go to the beach, and you don't have to worry about this whole mess and getting sand in your drink. Okay, so continue to muddle. Okay, and it should be nice and broken up. All right, if it flies out, don't worry, I know. Okay, so far so good. Everybody with me? I don't see anybody muddling. I just see a bunch of people staring at me. Okay, I'm doing all the work right now. Okay, let's get into the jalapenos done. Let's get into the lime, the lemon, and the orange. Roll those out when you do this. What this kind of does is kind of wake it up and kind of break it up a little bit inside before you cut into it, because you know, sometimes when you get them and they're a little bit hard and then you try to squeeze them and nothing's working, and then you break the squeezer and then everybody, this kind of gets all the juices flowing. So we'll take some orange. We'll take some lime. Didn't mean to cut that lime the wrong way. There you go. I had to cut the orange that way because I couldn't get the orange to fit inside of the press. So this way I can when I cut it on the long ways like that, okay? So we'll take some orange. Right in there. Nothing better than the fresh citrus We'll get some lime, same thing. Didn't mean to cut it this way, but we'll deal with it. Making that look so easy, right? Some fresh lime juice. And folks, I can't stress this enough. There is no replacing fresh citrus. As soon as it gets pasteurized, if you think about any of the citrus you buy, even if it says 100% fresh lime juice and so forth, as soon as it's pasteurized, it takes away all of that natural enzyme and bacteria and all those great flavors because they got to heat it up, okay? And some lemon juice. You can kind of balance that out depending on depending on, the flavor you like, okay? Let's get some of this agave nectar. A little touch. So remember, we have the jalapeno. We have a little bit of ice in there. We've got the cilantro. We muddled that up. We just hit it with our 3 juices. Now let's go ahead and respectfully, again, folks, I don't like to overdo it. Let's just respectfully add some tequila in there and just be conscious of who, there you go. That's perfect. So I've had a few of these. Not yet, I should say. A little more ice. Okay. So far, everybody with me? We're in good shape? Awesome. Okay. Give this a little shake. Now, what are we doing right here when we give this a little shake? Well, we're doing a couple things. One, we're agitating it. So we're diluting it a little bit. We want to have that dilution coming through from the ice. So one of the number one things, I didn't stress this at the beginning, but I should have, is have really good cold ice. If the bucket of ice has been sitting out and it starts to look a little clear and it's sitting in a well of water, that's not the ice you want to use. Super cold, crisp, hard ice is the key. Now we have that mixing glass there. It's already got some of the liquid on the outside of it, but here's the little technique to get that salt to stick. Rim that glass, and then lightly, just a touch of the salt, not too much. It doesn't need to be an iceberg like that. Let the mix right over the top. Almost had it exactly right. Take that, throw yourself a little squeeze of the orange, a little squeeze of the lime. Get another slice of the jalapeno. So now you've got heat, sweet, you got sour, you got a little salt. I mean, you've got about the full-blown package of flavors. And I think if you've done this right, you should even pick up a little umami. Cheers. Yeah, it's just what I thought. It needed just a little more tequila. A little more tequila would have done good. But this, I think we packed this Igloo right to the top. I got to tell you what, partnership has been awesome. The commitment to taking care of people, the commitment to recycling, everything that has made Igloo an industry leader has been amazing. And I appreciate being invited for this powwow and everybody hanging out. You just got to taste one of my favorite margaritas. Thanks for sending me the package, and cheers.